welcome to the new lesson for OFAD design series. My name is Lana Starr and I would present you today a new contemporary design with a wood slab. Let me explain why I choose this design for you. First, it's contemporary, it's modern, and you will get a new tricks and techniques watching the video today. You will learn how to do the beautiful design using the ordinary wood slab. The sequence how I made this design. First, as I mentioned, I put a slab on a riser. But what if you don't have a riser? What you can use? Here is a trick. Get a slab, get a few screws, the simple deck screws, and nail them, like screw them in on each end with a little angle. If the screws bother you, they're not appealing good and they just like get in conflict with the thing you're doing, you can wrap them with some binding wire. So then you'll have a new things, a new little fit for the slab, and it can stay by its own. The number two thing that you need to do is to do the line, the movement. How to do this? A little bit easier too. You can do a hole through the branch. You can get a very, very thin drill and you can drill a hole in a branch and then in a slab and try to connect those pieces together. But it's a little bit tricky. There is a shortcut. Get a heavy-duty wire like this, put it instead of the drill bit in a drill, and little by little, with the spinning motion, you can get through the branch and then continue drilling into the slab. So you just do one job instead of two, and you save some time. Remember only that the spinning speed doesn't have to be very, very high, so then you will control the process. You see here that I have like one wire going here, the second wire going here, and the third wire going here, and that completely supports the branch. So it's quite easy. You can practice that at home. Put a wire in a drill instead of drill bit and try to do some holes in any branch. So then you will see that it goes through. You would not believe it how the wire can go through, but it actually does. I put one branch here, and to support my movement I put another branch at the back. Why the design needs to be visible from both sides? You never know where you're going to put it. Maybe you will put it on a fireplace, or maybe you would put it on a long table as your dining piece, and people need to see both sides, back and front. After you do your lines, we put the water tubes, and I put that with the remembrance of like some bigger elements, my bigger flowers will need to drink more. So then I put a bigger water tube for them like this. So this artichoke going to go here, and the second artichoke going to go behind it, and they together create a beautiful focal point. This is the number one thing that you see while you're looking at the design. They are so beautiful, they are so unusual, and I hope they're going to bloom with the purple flowers. To support my movement, I want to include a few line flowers like anthuriums. And here, I'm going to put them in the back. So one right here. You still see them, you still see the line, but they not so overwhelming and not so powerful when I put them in front. And second one, I'm going to put right here. So they also create a group, nice group. And to continue that beautiful flower placement, I would like to tell you how I work with colors, then you will understand. Let's take a look closer on the artichoke colors. You see some darker, kind of like violet, purplish here. That's why, when I see that, I picked a ranunculus color because it's picking up the same hue. You see some lighter colors here in the artichoke. That's why I picked the anthuriums, because they present that lighter hue from here. And you also see here some kind of like vintage pinkish color hue. That's why I got these cappuccino roses, and all together these colors, like all my color that you will see in the design, they present in one artichoke. I just try to stretch its color combination on my design, some grayish, greenish, so you will see some gray, browns here. Everything's going to be present here. So then let's continue building the design. We have flowers here, so I'm going to put them on my table and we'll build a design for you. To add some interesting elements, I got that beautiful Bulgarian onion, and to support that rising point here, so here it's going to be right here. So you see, like this is artichoke, this is onions, alliums. It's actually smelling really onions right now because I cut it. So, and they create kind of like elevation. Each flower has their own height. To bring a little bit more interest in this design, let me put some roses. So we're going to get the roses. One can go here, and the second going to go right there. I put it even low, so it still will be visible because of color. So it's going to create a picking element that you can see through. One more onion that I have here will go on the back side. And you know why? Because people will watch it and go around and or glance at, oh, I see flowers here, what you have in the back. It's nature of the design that you have. Some ranunculus. We add, let's put one right here, so even it's darker, so, and even it's turning on the, not everything in the front, something going to go like this way. I'm picking at you and you can see him. And a few ranunculus we'll put in the back. And I'm going to do a stronger group of ranunculus actually in the back. And now let me explain you a few important things about the design at all. So we have a bigger group, we have a smaller group that it's picking through behind it. And to support that big and small group, we need to add something on this side, just to make sure it's not completely blank and it does still have the flowers, and your eye is traveling from bigger spots to smaller spots, and eventually it's complete the design in your mind. We're going to put one rose there and maybe a little purple accent here in the same water tube. So then you see something purple here and something purple here. We add like bigger elements like umbrella ferns that going to create a little sheltering for all the flowers. And a smaller one that will go right there. I just need to see where to put it. Okay. a few more elements that I can add. It's Nigella Pods. Nigella Pods, very beautiful by themselves. They also have that same hue as the artichoke, and they almost have the same texture, the same shape. That's why I want to have them somewhere throughout the design. So I put a few things here, and maybe something right there. Even something in the back needs to have some flowers. I put away. I add more ranunculus. Going to get leaning toward to the entire movement. And let me explain one thing that I learned from Gregor Lerch. Everybody knows the great master, and he always taught me, Lana, see, you have all the flowers going one direction, so you have the great movement. But something in nature needs to be different, needs to go opposite direction. Remember that some elements in your design need to be in conflict with all your movement. That's why I have that anthurium that's gonna go this direction. So you will see that like these two anthuriums go this direction, and this one is going to be picking through, and when you get closer you'll see, yes, it's supporting this branch, but it goes opposite direction. To complete the design, let me add a few little elements. Maybe I'll move this one because it's too powerful for this. And I'll rather have something smaller here and light. To complete the design, I want to have that Spanish moss naturally hanging down from these pots, these beautiful nature pots. And a few Tillandsias resting. Maybe you were wondering why I have these pots and I don't use anything for them. Here it is. So those can be used for the air plants. This is a design almost complete. One thing that we need to add. I have these miniature wood circles that reminds you about the wood slab that I used. And we're going to add them throughout the branches. I pre-drilled some holes before, and now we can just like beautifully and nicely place them on a branch. I can combine the big ones, the tall ones, the shorter ones, kind of like the mini ones all together. We can put a few things you see here, a few things here. I hope I have here more holes to put on. They're so tiny that I even don't see them. I'm pretty sure I have some here. Okay, a few elements I put on the back branches as well. And those little wooden circles do the good things. If you start to analyze the design itself, so you will see they create repetition of the shapes. And let me switch this one. It's a little bit too tall for this. I don't like it here. They create the repetition, they create the rhyme on a design overall. And it's nice that you can bring the circle shape throughout. Even they small, but they connect all things together. A couple more little elements here. And voila, it is complete. I hope you have enjoyed my design, which I have made for OFAD, Organization of the Floral Art Designers. To see more, go to ofad.design.